What is up, YouTube? This is Fortress Striker, and today I'm going to be talking about the honor tribute of Randy Savage for 5 years of his passing. Now, for many years, Randy Savage has been one of the best legend wrestlers of all time, part of the World Wrestling Federation, to his times in World Championship Wrestling. He started out things as a professional baseball player, and later on started things out in the Professional Wrestling League back during his time in the 70s. He later on became one of the biggest and greatest heels of all time in the company. He was actually one of the longest reigning Intercontinental Champions of all time until longer time I got the record, and as well had this incredible match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which was the top match of WrestleMania 3. Not Andre and Hogan. That one, because we know that was the main event, but that wasn't as good as Savage and Steamboat. Another thing was also when 1 year afterwards, when the tie got vacated a month before, it basically ended up having Randy Savage winning the entire tournament for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, in which also, by the way, if people haven't noticed, he actually won every round in a different attire. So, therefore, he actually is the man to do it all. Defeating Ted DiBiase, winning the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and that's pretty good. And later on, holding the title for an entire year, and then losing the belt at WrestleMania 5 to Hogan in one of the biggest Mega Powder matches all time, but was also a decent match when he had against Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7, which was a retirement match. The loser will be retired, which Savage did lose. Sherry, and unfortunately his manager was attacking him, and then Elizabeth came out and then basically protected him. They got together, and then boom, the magic happened. And one of the most emotional moments in history of professional wrestling. Randy Savage was later on as well, once again, won the World Wrestling Federation Championship by defeating Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8 the year after. Of course, basically, Randy Savage didn't last long, in which his last WrestleMania will be a 10 against Crush in basically a last man standing match, I believe. It's so weird. But then that will be the very last time. But then afterwards, we will never see Randy Savage since he later on in '94 moved a contract to WCW, that was the last WrestleMania we ever saw Randy Savage, and after he left, the very last time we ever see him ever in WWF history. So later on went to WCW, and then started joining with Hogan, doing the Mega Powers duo again, only this time adding Jim Hart and some big guy, which I think was Crush, I have no idea, working together for a while until Randy Savage got betrayed by Hogan with the famous NWO segment. But then Randy Savage later on also joined NWO months later. Randy Savage later on continued doing his roles and been part of a bunch of movies, has also been in part of shows, guest himself, he's doing his own rap, which was weird, but I guess a lot of talk he did to Triple H, talked to Hulk Hogan, he did a lot of talk to anybody, he appreciated Elizabeth, he always misses her, and now, as you know, they are now together since the day of his passing. Of course, Randy Savage was also married at the time when he was still alive, which comes to the part of his death. For those who don't know, Randy Savage actually passed away here in Florida, where I live, and where it happened when he was in the middle of when driving in the morning with his wife. He was suffering a heart attack when he was driving, and because of the result, he couldn't handle the wheel when his Jeep crashed into a tree. And both him and his wife were fine, but what killed him was actually the heart attack. And what turned out with the autopsy, doctors found out that it was actually that his heart was very enlarged with some sort of pills or anything he was taking. He didn't know he had a disease. So as a result, they later on found out that his heart was now, what caused his death actually, was the one they had called it as Atherosclerotic heart disease. I will put it in the description below so that way you guys do not get confused with what I'm saying. And, well, after that, Randy Savage's death was gone, and on this month of the 23rd, Monday Night Raw tribute Randy Savage, as well as CM Punk wearing the WrestleMania 3 attire of his own version in the match, and then later in the night when he teamed up with R-Truth against Cena and Mysterio with Bret Hart as the referee in honor of Randy Savage, which, if you notice later on, CM Punk decided to honor Randy Savage by doing the elbow drop in honor of him, and who couldn't blame him? Randy Savage was an incredible performer. He was a great athlete. He was pretty much one of the best top guys to have in the company, and there was nothing wrong with that. And, it just sucks not seeing him around, not being around a WWE ring, but, he did it. He left a legacy. He did what he can. He was famous for everything. He did Slim Jim. All right, and, you can't complain. Randy Savage is one of the best athletes, one of the best guys to have, and we'll miss him. And I honor Randy Savage so much, and I'm really proud mostly that he later on got to join the Hall of Fame and was inducted by his own brother. So I hope everyone enjoys this. Let me know what you think about what was your best Randy Savage moments and why do you love the guy so much. Give this video a like for the Macho Man. Share this here around. Subscribe if you're new. Like my Facebook page. And this is Fortress Tiger saying, "Ooh yeah!"